Welcome back to Dino Park Media. My name is Samuel, and this week I got a very special guest. I have Matt Heuel on with me today, and he's going to be joining me to talk a little bit about Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Matt, why don't you go ahead and say hello?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I actually have an Instagram as well that's dedicated to Jurassic Park. It's called Isla. I'm obviously a huge fan of the island and the franchise. I have been since '97, and I love Jurassic Park. So let's get this going, man. Thanks for having me on.
No, absolutely, man, absolutely. I mean, and just before we start, like one of the funniest things too, like the way I met you, I just think it's interesting and worth noting, like the fact that like you just messaged me one day on Instagram, dude. Let's just set up a phone call so we can talk about Jurassic Park. I'm like, okay, sounds good. I've never had this happen before. Right? And then we just literally talked one day for like 30 minutes just about Jurassic Park, and then I was just like, then both you and I agreed we need to do this for a video. So that's pretty much what we're doing right now.
I know. It was before I was going to San Diego as well. It's a little Lost World Easter egg in our own universe, dude.
That's right. That's right. So. With that all being said, then let's just hop right into it. Today we wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the big bad dinosaurs, or the antagonist dinosaurs of the Jurassic franchise. And so we'll just get into it. Like, Matt, for you, what's your favorite like big bad dinosaur from each Jurassic film? Like the big bad, the antagonist dinosaur that goes against the humans.
That's a great question. I feel like for myself, there's a difference between my favorite and the most important. From the first movie, I feel like it is the velociraptors that are kind of that, in a way, as a xenomorph, kind of like a monster figure that you don't see until the end of the film. The film starts out where you see, the velociraptor, the first scene, the velociraptor attack, that gets you the suspense going and whatnot, but you don't see the actual velociraptor in the flesh per se until the end. And I feel like, in a way, just because of Grant's character and Muldoon's character and everybody sort of hyping up the velociraptor, and then to actually see it at the end and how menacing it is, with the kitchen scene leading up to the finale with Rexy coming in and saving the day, or so we say. My favorite is the T-Rex, but I would say the velociraptor is absolutely not the big bad, but it is the main sort of dinosaur you watch out for in that film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, the velociraptors, like the way that they set up the velociraptors, like you literally do not see these dinosaurs, not even in the setup, until they are out and dangerous. And even like it's just so much set up in the story in order to make them feel dangerous, from the feeding scene to then when they are actually when they're actually out, and then they have actually eaten through the fence after the electric fence is down, and all this to kind of lead up to the fact that you are being hunted. These are extremely dangerous creatures, and I would definitely say that the velociraptors are probably the most dangerous out of the original Jurassic Park film, as far as the bad dinosaurs. In fact,
I just want to say too, like in that opening, not the opening scene, but the first time you see Grant is in Montana. Yeah, and they're digging up the new skeleton, right, of the velociraptor. Mm-hmm. So that's such a cool. That's Spielberg at his best. That's like poetry right there, because you see how it evolves through the film, but you see that kid who says, well, it looks like a 6-foot turkey. And the way that Grant sort of obviously terrifies that kid, but is giving a preview of what's going to happen to Muldoon later on in the film. It's beautiful. I love the velociraptor. The T-Rex always been my favorite, but yeah, hats off to Spielberg and what they did with their interpretation of the velociraptor.
And that's the thing, it's their interpretation. So not only because of like the fact that most people know, like, the velociraptor is in reality a very small dinosaur about the size of a chicken, and like it was just a super small, not very imposing raptor, whereas the velociraptor is huge in Jurassic Park. But not only that, but the fact that it's supposed to be so smart and cunning, it literally is almost like a villain in a movie,
Hmm.
like a typical villain, whereas the T-Rex is more of a wild animal that's just free and roaming around. And that's why
Hmm.
I like the original Jurassic Park movies so much, is because they play more off of the animalistic nature of dinosaurs compared to, say, like Jurassic World. The dinosaurs almost have their own personalities, which is not a
Yes.
problem. I really enjoy the new movies, but I like the animalistic nature of carnivores.
It has that circle of life element to it because the T Rex, in the end, like we say that she saved the humans, but she was just, being animalistic, as you said, and doing what she does and
Hmm.
save and, regain her throne
Right.
as queen of the jungle. And
Yep.
that's such an awesome scene, dude. I
It's
love that scene.
it's
It gives
honestly,
me
yeah,
chills thinking about it.
it's cinema. It's a cinema peak right there for like history. Cinema history is that scene right there. But moving on though to like also the Lost World. I think that the Lost World really painted out the buck T-Rex to be the baddies, even though the Velociraptors were probably the thing that thinned out the herd the most, like
Hmm.
killed most humans in that movie. I'm pretty sure that the buck T-Rex, because it was given its whole scene at the end in San Diego, like you were talking
That's
about.
right.
And so
Yeah.
I definitely think that they were painting that the T-Rexes as the big bads of the Lost World. What do you think?
Well, what's funny about that is originally the T Rex, from my knowledge, wasn't really supposed to be the big bad, obviously, in 93, 92, when they were making the first film. But
Hmm.
leading into how much people liked the T Rex and how much fanfare it got, I feel like people wanted more of the Tyrannosaurus. So in Lost World, they doubled the action with
Hmm.
two T Rexes. And by the way, the doe is my favorite of all time, just so
Yeah.
everybody knows. I'm obsessed with the doe T Rex. But anyway, the T Rexes and their infant became sort of the focal point of their animalistic nature in that second film. And I thought it was handled beautifully. It's a very underrated film.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think it was handled very well. I really appreciate also like you have the T-Rex family. I know that some people say like the end where it shows them all like living happily ever after is kind of cheesy, but it also it is cinematically and storytelling wise, it is a payoff for the fact that the quote unquote T-Rex family with
Mm-hmm.
Buck the doe and the infant, they
Junior.
all like
Yeah.
went through a bunch of crap during the movie in order to get to the end where they finally all were back together again. So poetically it works, even if it is cheesy.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is that the humans are really the bad guys. I mean, you have Malcolm and his team. And in the first one, you have Grant and, the rest of the people. You have Sattler and you have Malcolm, as your sort of your leads. But Nedry in the first film is the villain, but he unleashes the quote unquote monsters. And in the second film,
Hmm.
why I think it's underrated is Ludlow. He was what Malcolm said. He's like, now you're John Hammond, because he
Yeah.
became so greedy with the company with the with financing, and he wanted to make a Jurassic Park San Diego. And that's why I think the San Diego scene is underrated, because it comes into fruition where it's, yes, the T-Rex is causing damage in San Diego, but it's because of Ludlow.
Yeah.
So that's why the ending scene where they're all together is not cheesy to me. Like, they're just animals, they're doing their own thing.
Right. I hear that. And then also it was cool to end on like quote unquote the big bad being together again and just animals living out in nature. But just to keep moving too, like moving on to Jurassic Park 3, the
Yes.
obvious big bad.
Mm.
It's so obvious. It's the Spinosaurus.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean,
Big bad.
yeah, big bad. I mean, like to the point where I think I think the Spinosaurus is where you kind of see the series start going into almost giving character to the dinosaurs, because the Spinosaurus, if it was quote unquote a character for a movie,
Mm-hmm.
it was very one dimensional, as in like I must kill. That was I mean that would be
Yeah.
like it's one motive.
That's
But the
Cooper.
reality is like
Yeah.
it just continued to search after them. It would continuously go after the humans, and that is more than just animalistic. That seems like it was like almost like it was bred to just kill. I mean,
Oh,
what's your opinion on
absolutely.
that?
Well, I feel like you're right about that. It's almost like, in retrospect, was it was it Wu's team who created the Spinosaurus? Obviously, you have the backdoor files on JurassicWorld.com that
Mm-hmm.
indicate there was an accident left on Sorna back in '01.
Mm-hmm.
But the to go back to your first point and how the series shifted from Lost World to JP3, I feel like a lot of people were sort of they wanted something. At least the people making it felt they had they needed to get something bigger than the Tyrannosaurus in order to sell and to keep the series moving forward, to keep it scary, to keep it alive.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the backbone of the movie, sort of the Achilles heel, I should say, was the Spinosaurus. And I mean, I don't mind it. I didn't like that it killed the T-Rex, but I do think that it's a beautiful animal, and I do want to see it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love the Spinosaurus no matter what. It's great. And you also have the Velociraptors and Pteranodons who were, acting more like how they should, like more carnivore, more of like a horror movie. I like JP3. I do.
Yeah, I think I like JP3 for the fact that it's just dinosaurs being dinosaurs eating people, and like that's almost why I stick around with the Jurassic series after Jurassic Park 1 and 2. Like those ones had a pretty good, decent story, and no knocks on Jurassic World or Fallen Kingdom, but I mean the story has never been as solid as it was in the first and second Jurassic Park films. But
Yeah.
I do enjoy the Spinosaurus, especially the water scene when they're in the lake or the river, and the fire happens, and there's like all the things that happen cinematically there, the rain and everything. That was just wonderful. I really did appreciate that, and also showing how the Spinosaurus is semi-aquatic, so it's able to swim, and I don't know. That was really, really cool.
And of course, showing Paul Kirby, the ultimate badass of the series, as everybody knows, saved the day, which is pretty cool. I love that.
Yeah, and then Paul Kirby, oh my word. And then at least it wasn't Amanda yelling Eric, but that's besides.
Oh yeah, she could have done something too, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. Like it's
the
okay.
Good old Kirby's.
Yeah, less screen time for her. That's fine. But just due to time, I also want to get quickly to Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, but I just want to wrap them together because the big baddies are the hybrids. That's really what it comes down to. Like, we go from animal, big bads for the Jurassic Park trilogy, and then into Jurassic World we have hybrids. We have the Indominus Rex, and then we have the Indoraptor for Fallen Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. I
think that they're fantastic. I really like the Indominus Rex more than the Indoraptor, personally.
Me too.
I just like how it goes back to the amusement park theme park gone awry situation. And so in Human Hubris, they make this huge just a complete abomination of a monster, and then it gets let out. And in Human Hubris, as I just said, in the idea that they thought that they could handle it, they thought that they were so prideful that they can take care of anything, and then it all comes crashing down. I appreciate that, and that's why I like the Indominus more than the Indoraptor, because it's just the ultimate carnage machine,
It is, and it's moving the story forward, but still give you the nostalgic vibes that the first and maybe second film did, by letting the animal be not necessarily the bad guy. Because you look at Hoskins and what he was trying to do with the Velociraptors, he was planning this out, him and Wu. So it was inevitable that something was going to happen, especially after Masrani's death.
Right.
Which was an awesome death, by the way. That was a really cool sequence with the Pteranodons. But no, the Indominus Rex is really cool. I love how it is part T-Rex and it is also part Velociraptor. And that's why I feel like it is moving in the perfect direction, where you have stuff from the past literally mixed into something new. And that's what, made me excited for Jurassic Park again. I love that movie. I love it.
Yep. I think that Jurassic World, I think that the hybrid was really, really good for Jurassic World because it threw in something different. Because
Yeah,
it showed that they could bring the regular animals. I say regular very loosely because obviously they're
of
dinosaurs.
course.
They bring
Yeah,
the regular dinosaurs under their control, but then they make something and go beyond themselves again, like John Hammond did in Jurassic Park 1. And then
hmm
I just appreciate all the echoes. I definitely think that it was the right call to go with Jurassic World before Fallen Kingdom because Fallen Kingdom, God bless it. I really enjoy the movie because once
you got
again,
that right.
people, but the story is just not there as much as it's just not as tight as Jurassic Park 1, The Lost World, Jurassic World.
Even
And I think
JP3.
Jurassic World
Yeah.
is able to really encapsulate the nostalgia in order to get people back on track with Jurassic films. If we would have just jumped right in with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and just like that was JP4 Fallen Kingdom, I don't think that the Jurassic series would be nearly as popular as it is now.
You're right. I mean, it really tried to be less nostalgic despite it having so many echoes in the film. Of course, the one that comes to mind is Maisie trying to pull down the elevator.
Yep.
You think of JP1, the kitchen scene with Lex,
Mhm.
but it really tried to quote another franchise, kill the past in a way by literally destroying Numlar, the original island, and taking what is left of the island
Mhm.
to the mainland, which is something I think that they wanted to do for a very long time, and now they're getting a chance to do it.
Yeah.
My only problem is that as a viewer, it just feels like a filler film to Dominion,
Yeah.
and almost two different films in a way. But people that like it, good for you. Like I don't hate Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I think it's watchable,
Right.
but it's just not for me.
It's far from my favorite, but I'll watch it because it's dinosaurs eating people, like I said before. But speaking of Dominion, let's jump into this.
Yes,
We
yes,
got a couple
yes.
minutes left here. What do you think is going to be the big baddie dinosaur, the antagonist dinosaur for Jurassic World Dominion? Because we've heard some leaks. So
Mhm.
spoiler alert for anybody who's listening. There are some things that have been released and purposefully, not necessarily like leaked. Like behind the scenes stuff. Like this is stuff that was officially announced. From Sam Neill himself. So
Mhm.
here it is. So the Giganotosaurus or the Giganotosaurus, depending on what you want to say, Giga, whatever it is.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Yeah. So people like that's gonna be coming in. That's confirmed for Jurassic World Dominion. Do you think that is gonna be the big baddie, or do you think that that is just a dinosaur that's just there?
Man, I certainly hope so, because as cool as it is, the spoilers again, because there is leaked photos of what I'm about to say. I'm sure everybody in the Jurassic community knows what I'm talking about, but there also is these raptors, but sort of Utah-looking raptors,
Mhm.
in the leaked pics that I've seen.
I've heard some
They
people call
could
them Pyroraptors.
Pyroraptors, either way, I feel like with Blue's story arc, if you want to give a dinosaur an arc, I
Yeah.
do feel like from 2015 to 2022, it would be a satisfying arc for her and
Mhm.
Owen, and even Grant to a lesser extent, because I know he's going to be in the film, to see these raptors, these wild raptors, you know, uh, meet Blue and see how that's actually very interesting. I could very well see that happen, and I do think that that will happen. But I personally would love to see the Giga, because I like when they get in their sandbox and they just go out and play like with toys, like when we were kids, like with the T-Rex and a Giga final, like a Godzilla sort of fight, like they did in Jurassic World.
Yep.
That's what I really, really want to see, dude. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I do think that the Giga. I think that the
The
Giga
big
is
bad.
going to be, yeah. People say it both ways, but I think that Giga is going to be, if not the big baddie, it's going to be a big baddie in the sense that I'm pretty sure
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
I think that the Giga is going to be a biosyn. Um, I think
Creation.
it's going to be a
Yeah.
biosyn dinosaur, if I had to guess.
Mhm.
because we haven't seen it anywhere else, to my knowledge, on for it being a part of the Jurassic Park or specifically the InGen list of dinosaurs.
Hmm.
Dinosaurus is not a part of that. I'm pretty sure that Biosyn, this is one of their dinosaurs, and I'm hoping that this is all speculation, of course, but I'm hoping that it will lead into an opportunity to show how Biosyn has like some sort of like some sort of like fallen dinosaurs, some sort of like they're something's missing. They're not as pure or as good as the InGen dinosaurs, and then it will cause it to be have like some sort of like rampant behavior and wanting to go and destroy everything, almost like the Spinosaurus, kind of like have a
Dude,
mentality.
I was about to say that. Yeah, like you would think, like even the Velociraptors in the third film, and the Pteranodons, and the Spinosaurus. Maybe that was. This is all speculation again, but
Right.
maybe that was Biosyn's, incarnation of the Velociraptor, Pteranodon, and their answer to the Rex, or at least their first stage of it. So it could very well lead up to an epic battle at the end. But
Right.
we'll see. We'll see.
That's right. And you bring up epic battle, and that's actually the last question of this video. Why is an end battle scene important for a Jurassic film? We've seen a lot of big battle scenes. Jurassic Park 1, the final showdown with the Velociraptors, and
The
then
big one,
Rex
Rexy.
comes
Yeah.
in. For Jurassic, for the Lost World Jurassic Park, we have obviously the Buck running around San Diego. I don't know if that's necessarily a battle scene as much as almost feels like a
It's an action sequence,
yeah,
Yeah.
different action sequence, more like a King Kong Godzilla moment.
It's a
Um,
homage to the 33 film for sure. Yeah.
yeah. But Jurassic World, the Indominus Rex showdown, right, with Blue and
Oh, yeah. I cried, dude. I
it
cried in the
was
movie
so
theater.
good. The
I
music,
was
fighting. So like, why is that
the Lost
important to a
World theme that
Jurassic
came
film?
on from Michael Giacchino when he played the Lost World game or whatever. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, when Blue came out, I was so happy. That was
Yep.
the coolest thing.
Yep. Michael really nailed it for the
He
score.
did.
But what about for Jurassic World Dominion? Why is it important to have a battle scene, an end battle scene for Jurassic? And what do you think the end battle scene for Jurassic World Dominion will be?
Great question. So if you look at the just box office alone, Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom aren't too far apart. But Jurassic World not only captured nostalgia, but I feel like that ending scene alone was so good. And
Mm-hmm.
to reference Star Wars just one more time, just Darth Vader in Rogue One, that end scene made that
Oh
movie
yeah.
so much cooler. And I feel like with Jurassic World, with Claire, with her nephew saying we need more teeth, that anticipation of like, what? Okay, are we gonna see her? Are we gonna see her? And
Right.
getting the flare, and then that building the momentum. What's open paddock 9? What's in paddock 9?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see what's in paddock 9, and it's your childhood toy hero, everything. And it was not only that, but it was the ultimate showdown where you got to see a Rex battle something else and win this time versus Jurassic Park 3. And it feels like a Godzilla film in the best way possible. I'm saying that in a good way. Like it's like seeing Godzilla fight Rodan or something, or fight King Ghidorah. It's more action packed, and I feel like we need more of that to close out the franchise in a really fun. Obviously, we need the story, but in a really fun way, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I agree, especially with well, I mean, I honestly don't believe that Jurassic World Dominion is going to be closing out the franchise. I believe that it's the beginning. It's the end of the beginning of Jurassic World, but that's a different video entirely.
Right.
But for this battle scene, I do believe that a battle scene will be important for this for this franchise, because in Jurassic World Dominion you have what's been already announced. Biosyn is going to be a part of this movie, and we've only known Biosyn to be some sort of antagonizing factor back in Jurassic Park 1, but
Dodson.
Dodson, yeah, but he wasn't even, but Biosyn wasn't even mentioned by name. It was like only
Yeah, true.
was mentioned. It's only in the book that we know about Biosyn, but the reality is Biosyn was always there. because they are literally mentioning them by name now, and also Dodgson is back in this movie. Spoiler alert again, but once again, this has all been officially released. But
Absolutely.
the idea is what we end up with is I honestly think that if the Giganotosaurus is the big bad dinosaur, I honestly think that we are going to have a Giga T-Rex battle. And
Yes, please. Music to my ears. Michael Giacchino.
seriously, right? Michael, get on this. But well, he's obviously on it. But I mean, I honestly think that it would be symbolic of InGen versus Biosyn. I honestly think that that is what that battle would be representative of. And
It's true, yeah.
yeah, so I honestly think that that is where the movie could be going, but we don't know until 2022, right?
Yeah, man. There's not much info besides the leaks, and I love what Colin has been doing. He made the film, and he's still giving fans, little treats here and there to kind of, keep us, little appetizers to keep us excited. And I certainly am. I wish it was coming out in June, but it's all right. It'll be well worth the wait, I'm sure.
Right. It is what it is. But hey, tell you what, that's all we've got for today, Matt. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in today with Dino Park Media, with me, Samuel, and then also with our guest today. We have Matt Heuel. He's also on Instagram, Isla Sorna, Site B. Check him out on Instagram. And yeah, thank you so much again, Matt, for joining us today. I hope that you had fun.
No, thank you so much. Thank you to you, man. I'm a huge fan of yours. And honestly, as Jurassic Park fans, we stick together, man. I love the Jurassic Park community. I love talking to people who love Jurassic Park. So anybody who's listening, we're in this together. 2022 will be here before you know it. And, we got Dino Park Media, filling us in. So we'll be chilling.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, hey, we will talk to you guys in our next video. Remember to subscribe and click on that notification button in order to make sure that we are, in order to make sure that you get all the videos coming out from Dino Park Media in the future. But you guys know you're loved. We'll see you in the next video.